That was a good one.
That was a good one. You're getting really good at this.
Not bad for taking a month off, huh?
I know. Where have you been?
Where have you been?
Oh, depressed.
Same.
Yeah.
We took a mental health hiatus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Which we highly recommend for everybody.
yeah. Mine. I don't think mine's over. Is yours?
That's a good question. My therapist suggested I start going twice a week, so maybe.
I'm gonna go with we need more time.
Yeah, we need more time.
But I think we're doing okay. We do have a very, very, very special guest this evening for for Father's Day. And
Yeah.
who is it, Bree?
Does he look familiar? Can you see the resemblance? This is my father, Mr. Will Black.
Hello.
That's right.
Also known as, no, you're not known as the Black Gypsy. You are just,
No.
It is just Black Gypsy Music Productions,
Yeah.
Gypsyland Studios,
It's a bunch of stuff.
bunch of stuff.
Gypsy Land Studios.
Yeah, that's the name of the studio.
How'd you come up with that?
I don't know, Black Gypsy, then Gypsyland. I wanted it to be something that was like a vibe and fun and have a fun, energetic kind of, you
Yeah.
know, loose feeling.
Okay.
I feel like you need to explain the meaning behind Black Gypsy, because there's always, so gypsy is known as is a slur, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we're politically correct on here.
Fuck yeah, we are.
So where'd you get Black Gypsy from?
Obviously last name Black.
Mm-hmm.
Gypsies back in the day. I actually, this particular logo came from a picture that was me and your mother holding you when you were, I think, 30 days old at Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
30 days old.
I'll have
Literally.
to. I have
That's a
the
fresh
picture.
baby.
Yeah, no, that baby was fresh. She was
Yeah.
a pumpkin. I think your mom was like Cinderella or something.
Uh-huh.
And we were at my job, and I didn't come to work dressed up, and everybody was dressed up, and I'm like, well, just paint my face. And I said, paint it half black. No, it was half white actually, so half white, and I guess the other half was black. Yeah, but and actually it was Cole's mother.
Cole's my brother.
Right.
So we're connecting the dots here.
Right, there's
Yes.
some weird connections. So
Yeah.
that's who painted that on my face. And then she put a musical note as a tear under my eye. And then when the pictures came back, it was like, yo, that's kind of cool. We should do something with that. And then that ended up becoming this.
The logo.
So the logo is the same age as you.
Well,
Dang.
pretty
Right.
old.
Right. So the logo was that, and then gypsies, at the time, using encyclopedias and stuff, because there was no internet and Googling.
What a time.
Exactly. I found out the gypsies were usually artistic, travelers, wanderers, usually musicians, magicians. They traveled in packs. They were
Right.
misunderstood. That whole nine. I'm like, that's me. Now fast forward to now, which is even better. When you Google gypsy, it's a racial slur.
Right.
You know, so gypsy, black gypsy, black nigga, black whatever. You know, so take it how you want to take it, but I'm definitely a gypsy.
Hell yeah. I love
And
that.
I'm black.
Yeah.
And my last name's Black.
So coming
It's all
together.
tied in. Yeah, it's all tied
Full
in.
circle. Full circle. Okay. So
Yeah.
what are the inappropriate things we want to know about your father today?
What? Okay, I have a question.
I know. I was gonna say.
I have a question.
We gotta pop off.
I
So,
wanna
pop
pop off. I wanna know. My mom told me once that I was conceived on a basement floor. Is that true? Do you remember?
That's probably true. It was either in the basement floor or I remember it was a party or something.
Yeah, at
And
Angela's
That
house?
sounds about right,
Yeah.
actually. Or it was in the It was in the storage area in the back of Chess King.
Oh, that's fun.
That is classic.
I think I like the storage area in the back
I
of
like-
Chess King
me
a little
too.
better.
Yeah.
Me too. What's Chess King?
That was an old school clothing store. Tina was a manager there.
Okay.
She was a manager there. I was a manager at a store at Record Town, which was a store between us. So,
Okay. And that's definitely where when you were conceived.
It's got to be it.
I mean, look at the way you dress.
It makes sense.
You know,
That's funny.
It's in my blood.
it's in your blood. There you go.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
How did you meet my mom? Do you remember?
Yeah. Your mother actually befriended me because she liked a coworker that I worked with.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of really how it was.
Okay.
She liked him, and he wasn't really into her like that.
Sounds
And
about
honestly,
right.
but I think it was more. It wasn't anything to do with your mother. Just being candid, he wasn't into white girls. So that was the whole thing.
And you
Yes.
were.
I you know what? I don't know what I was into women. You know, I mean, I'll just be
Same.
honest. I was just into women. Yeah, see, we all got something in common.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But no, I was just into women. That was drugs wasn't my problem. Drinking wasn't my problem.
Women.
None of that. It was women. Yes. Yep.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, I think it's all kinds of reasons. Low self-esteem at the time,
Right.
being a, I think low self-esteem being the reason why I was promiscuous, you
Okay.
know, or had many women. I was
Okay.
really nice. That was my thing. Like I was a really nice guy, but I wasn't committed and wasn't gonna commit, and I was a liar. I lied about everything.
I was gonna say, how are your communication skills?
Oh
But
no,
clearly,
I just learned communication skills probably in the last 5 years or so. You know.
Really?
You still working on
Yeah,
it?
that's the
Yeah,
whole thing. When you realize
congratulations, you
that,
made
yeah,
it.
you just keep working on it, you know. But no,
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was I was horrible at communicating negative feelings or
Okay.
things that I wasn't good at dealing with shit
So you're an avoidant.
big time.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it
You were a
was.
little avoidant fuckboy back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I know
definitely
your
was.
kind.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know my kind too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I also know
definitely
fuck
was
girls
that.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
They're the meanest ones.
Who, me?
Okay, misengaged.
You got it honest. you see?
Miscommunicates.
It doesn't mean I'm not avoidant.
Okay, that's true.
I am actually, I thought I was a good communicator, but I'm learning I'm not
Interesting.
from somebody who's a really good communicator.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when you learn when you're
Uh-huh.
in a relationship like that or with somebody like that.
Yeah.
You know, who communicates, because I know Shannon, my wife, that motherfucker communicates everything negative, you know, and not in a bad way, but her thing is she's just gonna nip it in the bud. Let's just deal with it right
Yes.
now. And what she says now is, she says like, babe, you're better at that than I am now. Like I've taken that to a whole nother level. So
Yeah.
oh yeah, let's just have a conversation. Fuck it.
Did you
You
go to
know?
therapy, or are you in therapy now?
I've gone to therapy. Yeah, I spent I was going to therapy shit. Junior high school, 6th grade.
Damn.
You know? I had already been doing shit. Well, you know, my dad passed when I was 7, and then
Oh,
just
shit.
other childhood
They needed you in
Shit.
there, yeah.
and yeah, I was a challenging kid just in general, and you know, I had some, like all of us really at that time especially, had some challenges that we had to grow up with,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know. So
What was your mom like? Or if she's still alive?
well, yeah, my mother's still alive.
Kicking.
That's an interesting question for me to answer today.
Oh, why today?
Well, because I think there's two versions of my mother that I understand. There's my mother that I grew up with as a kid, who was my idol, who could do no wrong, who was always right,
Okay.
you know. And then
On a
there's
pedestal.
oh, big time. And then there's the man who's grown up, and I know my mother, but I can also look at my mother as a woman, you know, outside of just, this is my mother and my mother can do no wrong. It's like, shit, my mother's a woman too, and she does shit that, you know. So
Yeah.
for me to say, that's really a hard question, a
Yeah.
complicated question that I'd just rather not go into right now.
Was she a single mom?
No, my mother, my dad passed when I was 7,
Okay.
and they were married, and then my mother got remarried, like 3 months later.
3 months?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, and see, like, as I've grown up,
Yeah.
and then even after like losing my brother, it'll be 5 years, in November, and then seeing his wife and kids, and it's like, what happened to me is, at some point when I grew up, this is probably, I won't say when I grew up, but at some point this was about 5-6 years ago, Brianna came to me one day and she's like, Dad, I'm in therapy, and my therapist wanted to know about, you know, my parents and their childhood and stuff, and I realized I don't really know about your childhood like that. And I'm like, well, what do you want to know? She says, well, tell me everything. So we really started from the beginning.
Yeah.
And as I was telling my firstborn child my story from the beginning and saying it out loud to her and really saying things, and then also growing up, also at the time living with Mia, my stepdaughter now. I don't like to say step, but I'm just referencing it. She at the time she was 7 years old, which would have been the age that I started really remembering certain things.
Sure.
And I started putting things together and being like, the fuck, I was going through this at 7?
Right.
And I was relating it to the 7-year-old that I was actually
Yeah.
living in a home with. And so it opened up some crazy shit just to
Yeah.
be, that's been a journey for the last 5 years, you know. So I just see a lot of shit differently now.
Yeah.
So some of the things that I know was normalized just growing up the way I grew up, and growing up in you know, old school black shit.
Right.
You know, getting your ass beat and you know, not listening to your kid, you know, I don't want to say not listening to your kids, but just, I felt like my job as a kid was to do shit for my parents, and that was it. You know, like, hey, come get the remote, or come change the channel. It wasn't a remote, you know.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really allowed to have emotion, to express verbally
Sure.
a lot of that shit. And then then fast forward to an adult. That's what turns a lot of these men into, or these boys into fuck boys. Because as you're
Yeah.
growing up, you can't express yourself. You're not supposed to.
Right.
You're all men and the male figures in your life are telling you, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah.
You know, and then when you do express yourself, it comes out as anger because you don't know,
Yeah.
you don't know the words, or you don't even feel like it's okay
Yeah.
to use those words. You know,
Absolutely.
so my bad, I rattled on for a
No,
long
I
time.
All
that
good.
was some wisdom, bro. What are you talking about?
We need all the
Kidding
fuck
me?
boys
I'm
and girls watching this
For
to hear
real.
that.
That means all my exes. Tune
All
in.
of them.
Hell yeah. I mean, you know, I can say that shit because I was one of them fuck boys. So I know it when I see it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I understand it. You know?
Yeah.
Totally understand
You're
it.
just like chasing something that you might not ever really obtain if you keep going in that route, right? Down that road, right?
I won't even say chasing. You're running away.
Hey.
That's what it is. You're running away, and you're never gonna outrun whatever the fuck you're running away from.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes. Wow.
You know.
Nailed
so,
it.
Yeah. So that's what it is. It's not chasing. You're running away. You're never gonna outrun whatever you're running away from ever.
Yep.
So just deal with it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Do you
Deal
think
with
I'm a
it.
fuckboy?
Um,
Maybe.
I don't know because see, I think with you, based with all of the letdown and disappointments that you dealt with me growing up, I feel like you learned how to deal with shit and not necessarily show your emotions that much. And you know, I can remember as a kid, I remember you as a kid and remember thinking, you know, one of the constant things with your mother and I was, you know, I'd come to you and I'd say, hey, you're not gonna mind if I don't come to your birthday party?
Right, and I'd say no.
You'd say no.
Yeah.
And I'd say, cool. Then I'd just go to work or go do some other shit, you know?
And then I'd go home and cry.
Right, and then your mom would be like, "Motherfucker, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I talked to her. She said she was okay.
Yeah.
She said she was fine. You know. So, I think with you, I just learned. I mean, I've learned that in the last few years, even more so. But it's like you're not gonna always say. You won't express the negative feelings in the best way that you should, especially to people close to you. That's just what I think. I think, you know, and that's a lot of me too, though. It's like, those are the people that you do have those conversations with. I think those are the most important people to have them with, you know, and we avoid it, you know, and then for me, I would eventually just explode, and that's what would happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we've been for the past month.
Absolutely.
Post explosion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Well, wanna do tell?
Right.
I don't know, man. I just, you know,
Yeah.
I went so long without expressing my emotions that all of my emotions caught up to me.
Okay.
And there was a couple days there where I was like, fuck. And I was just crying nonstop. Couldn't do shit. But I'm all right now. Well, but I can do things.
Right.
I can, you know,
Yeah.
leave. I'm here.
You're here.
I am here.
Yeah, you may.
Here I'm queer. Get used to it.
That's right. And trying to get healthier. Yep. That's the one.
Sometimes just let that shit out, man. It's all good. Some days it's good to just be like, fuck it, you know? And I feel like what I've learned is it makes more sense sometimes to stop than to keep trying to go. Because you'll be going and spinning your wheels and not making any kind of motion or any kind of real motion. And then you may need to take that 2 or 3 days where you just let everything just kind of go and then pick up the pieces after that. But at that point, you know, your battery's charged. That thing that you've been stuck on for weeks, you figure it out in an hour, you know, all of a sudden. You know, you come at it from a new angle. So I've just learned, like, you gotta keep going, but sometimes to keep going means just to stop,
Yeah.
you know, and give yourself that break, because you gotta listen to that shit. It
Yeah.
means something, you know.
Do you say that as like a creative too? Obviously, like.
Yeah. The interesting thing for me now as a creative, because I do a lot of work where my creativity has got me to a place where I can make money from it, you know, actually make a living. And making a living from it doesn't mean that I'm always doing what I want to do. Okay? So there's that part. It's like, maybe it ain't creative. You know, it's like when you were doing the graphic design stuff, and it was like, sometimes you'd have to make this simple shit that's like, you feel like you're not even challenging yourself creatively, you know. So I have to remember that. But I play games with me. I say this a lot now. Every session is a lesson. So it's like, what can I learn from this particular situation, or this particular mix that I'm working on, or this particular artist that's annoying me in this particular moment? It's like, okay, relax. What are you supposed to get out of this? You know, and not be like, why are you being so difficult? You know, because ultimately they just want their shit to be dope, you know. And I want the same thing, you know. It's not even about being right or wrong, but when they're paying me to do something, I need to do what they want. You know, give my suggestions because you are paying me for that.
Absolutely.
But at some point, just, okay, cool. This is what you want.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you want a burger well done and you're like, I want it burnt, and the chef brings it out. And it's like, it's well done, but I said I wanted it burnt. Chef's like, why would you do this to this great, you know, burger? Like,
Yeah.
you know, but it's like,
Killing
no,
me.
it doesn't matter. That's what I want, a hockey puck. Run it.
Yeah.
You know? Thank you.
You're like, I just don't understand.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not for. I had this dude tell me once, a couple years ago, it pissed me off too. But he was right. In the moment, I was mad. But he was like, he wanted me to do something that I just did not want to do in the song. He said, motherfucker, I don't pay you to like the shit. I was pissed. And I didn't finish the session. And I told him he didn't have to pay me the rest of whatever we had to do. And I was done and never worked with him again. But I thought about it later. And it changed how I approached shit. Because he was actually right.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't gotta like it.
No, I ain't got to like it. Now I could choose not to work with him.
Sure.
You know? Which
Absolutely.
I did. But,
Right. Absolutely.
but he was right. You don't.
What's the collab or like some sort of whatever you've produced that you're like really proud of? Or if there's anybody like really cool that you've worked with?
That's a really good question. I'm proud of the stuff that I've done that my kids were involved with. You know, so there's like projects where, you know, Brianna did the artwork, or Cole has written or even sang something on, you know, or did some vocals on stuff, or anything that in particular, like if I get that random message or share or they thumbs up on the song.
Yeah. That's that shit.
Because like there's certain people in my life, my kids, my brother, you know, maybe a few friends that's been around me for years. Me doing music and creating is just like me breathing. It's no big deal, you know?
Right.
So when they do hear something that they like and it's pointed out, it's like, oh, okay, you know? So anything that family and close friends and people's opinions that I really value,
Okay.
you know, because those same people that tell me if something sucks too, or, you know, if they don't like it, they'll give me their honest opinion no matter what.
For sure.
He keeps saying he wants us to be like the next Jackson family, which I personally don't want to get my ass beat. So maybe there's like another musical family that we could, you know, roll with.
The Partridge.
There you go.
You want to do that, right? I mean, yeah, the Partridges.
Okay.
You could be
The
like
Gorillas.
Selena.
The gorillas.
The gorilla.
That's kind of fucked up, right? You know, right? So I don't know. Yeah, the Gorillas. We could do that.
Okay. They're not a family.
No, it's just what it is with me. It's not so much the Jackson family, but man, I look at all of you, man, and this isn't even like a dad or an uncle just saying some shit, because I'm gonna be hard on them.
Oh yeah.
But they're so dope. without even trying to do certain stuff. You know, going to see Brianna do that stand up or whatever that was, storytelling was.
Shout out, Scott.
She was awesome at that. You know, I'd never seen her in that. You know, but it was
I was awesome at talking about shitting out whole pills of cough medicine.
Yes.
But I did a good job.
A talent, if you will.
I mean, the thing was, you had a way of telling a story that was engaging, and it didn't feel forced. It was. I felt like the audience related overall, you know, and you didn't lose my attention, you know. And even in your show together, this whole thing, you guys got something here. Definitely
you.
got great chemistry.
Yeah.
So-
Today we're hungover from the Peruvian Father's Day party
Yeah.
that we all attended last night.
Yeah, I'm the oldest one, and I'm like,
I'm fine. I woke up at 7 this morning.
You woke up at 7. You were amazing. I went, after everyone left, I went to a bar with a friend
oh,
and stayed out till 2.
Oh.
And then came back here and we started a bonfire.
We left at like 1.
I know.
Where did you go? Sneakers?
Sneaks. Yesterday was so much fun. You kept saying that you felt like you were in a documentary.
no, that shit felt like a documentary for real. Like the light, I saw it. Like I really wanted to pull out my camera so bad a few times.
You should have.
Well,
I
no,
did.
because it would have turned into a like documentary for
Okay.
real.
That's fair.
No, it was the food and the way your mom was explaining everything, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I think we had we represented all cultures and genders and non-genders and animals. We had cats, dogs, birds.
For real. We really did
Like,
that.
no, we really had it
Quite
all.
literally.
We had
No.
everything but a white person there.
Yeah, I was the closest thing to a white person.
You and Mary. Mary's half, too.
Oh.
Well, no, what's his face? That was.
Oh, yeah. White
Yeah.
as hell. White as hell.
Oh, good.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's passed out on the couch most of the time, so I was like, oh, I forgot he was there. Shit.
that's the white way to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.